Nicole, what is the JCC Jewish Book Festival and how did it first start?
The JCC Jewish Book Festival is an annual literary festival celebrating writing and reading for all age groups. It's held every November. We have 35 or 40 writers and about 20 events. It's now one of the biggest literary events of its kind in Canada. And it started off 29 years ago with a small book club. 4 or 5 women, one of whom was Cherie Smith, a publisher and a writer, got together and decided that they wanted to focus on some Jewish writers. And that's how it started. One thing that is really important about our festival is that you don't have to be Jewish to come to the Jewish Book Festival or to read Jewish writers. In fact, most of our writers, you wouldn't even know they are Jewish. That's not relevant, really.
How do you select authors for this event?
That's a good question. Our mandate is to showcase Jewish writers writing on any theme, or non-Jewish writers writing on a theme that is of Jewish interest. So publishers submit their authors to us, authors contact us directly, send us our books. We have a review committee to make decisions about programming and what author we think people will enjoy. We have writers like Roberta Rich, who's not Jewish, and her brand new book, The Harem Midwife, is all about a Jewish midwife living in Istanbul in the 16th century.
Can you give an example of what participants can expect at this JCC Jewish Book Festival?
What we do at the JCC Jewish Book Festival is we make sure that we have a wide range of subject matters that will interest everyone, from the little kids to the golden seniors. My goal with the Jewish Book Festival is to introduce new writers to the Vancouver reading community, to find new talents that people may not necessarily have heard of, and to showcase their work, to give them a spotlight. And we've been very successful in that over the past years. Our workshops is one of the things that distinguish our festival from others, because we always have a few writing or publishing workshops every year. We have some really great writers who are coming in to do workshops. Mark Leorin Young is doing a workshop about memoir writing. Karen X. Solchinsky, who has written a lot for television, is going to be doing a workshop on creative writing. And this year we have something special. We have Deborah Holland, who's going to be doing a lyric writing workshop. So she's going to teach people how to write lyrics to the 12-bar blues.
And how did you first become interested in writing?
Well, my mom is a writer, and I grew up seeing how she was writing and doing research and talking with the people and presenting her books. And so I knew that was something that I could do. It's not that we only go to the bookstores and we buy books, we can write them. So when I had ideas, I started to write them, and then she taught me how to complete the story, the idea. And even, the first book that was published was one book that I wrote with her.
And where do you get your inspiration from?
From everything, every day, every sentence. When you are walking on the street, when you listen to a conversation, when we talk in my house or at my girls' school, everywhere, ideas are everywhere.
You are an award-winning author, and this is not your first book. Victoria is not your first book. When was your first book published?
In 1999, I won a prize in Ecuador, South America, and the prize was the publication of the book. So that was the first one, and then I kept publishing in South America and in Canada, and I have already 23 books published.
Why did you choose to translate Victoria from Spanish at this time?
When I wrote Victoria, I thought that I'd like to show the kids in Canada how the kids in South America live. So when I talked to the publisher, I said that I want them, the kids in Canada, know about this story. So he liked the story, and we decided to translate the story and publish in Canada.
How did you find your inspiration for the story and the main character in Victoria?
Well, I grew up with these kids. My mom was teacher of these kids, and every day in my house they came to ask for food, and we had the door open always. When in Argentina you could have the door open, and a basket full of fruits so they can come and pick up fruits from inside the house.
What do you hope your readers will gain from reading this book?
Well, mostly I thought that the kids here, they need to know how other kids in Latin America, how they live and how hard it is to live for them. And if they can help those kids in different ways, it's possible to help them, so it will be great. But I think the first step is to know that they exist and how hard it is for them to live. Victoria imagines her mom answering, her voice full of love. "Don't worry, mija, everything will be okay." "When will everything be okay, mama?" Victoria tosses and turns. She closes her eyes but cannot sleep. She wishes that her mother will still alive and she and her brothers were back home in their old neighborhood on the other side of Paraná.